Hey, happy Sunday. It's Kathy. Who else would it be? Who else would it be? I'm going to just check the stream and we're going to start. We're going to do it. So I did switch out. If you're curious about why we're not doing Egon Schiele today, please read my latest post on my post tab. And we're going with Henri Toulouse-Lautrec. And I'm going to tell you how I picked Henri 2 seconds ago. I was going in with there we go. Okay, we're on. I was going in and I did not have, I was like, today's going to be a fun surprise. And I'm like, I'm going to Google commercial artists of the 19th century and we'll just see what comes up. And Henri Toulouse-Lautrec came up. And my first thought was he a commercial artist? And then my second thought was, why did I not put him on the list originally? Like, what? So I'm super excited because I'm excited to do this. I'm very excited for Henri Toulouse-Lautrec. So let's go in. We're going on to the Wikipedia today, which looks to be a good comprehensive overview of his life. Oh, I got a new pen. Might break this out today, not sure. We might do black paper and Neocolor today because I've been a little bit like craving to do some, different media, some varied media besides ink. So let's go in. Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, our little French guy. Here he is. Hello. Hi, Henri. He looks very dapper. Very, very dapper man. Okay. Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec. Comte. Let's see what Comte means. Count. What does Count mean? It's a historical title of nobility in certain European countries. Okay, we all knew this, but I like to find out. I just like to double check. I like to get confirmation on these things. I just like to know, what is Wikipedia telling me? And that's what it says. Count Henri Marie Raymond de Toulouse-Lautrec Montfort. 24 November 1864 to 9th September 1901, known as Toulouse-Lautrec, was a French painter, printmaker, draughtsman, and caricaturist and illustrator whose immersion in the colorful and theatrical life of Paris in the late 19th century allowed him to produce a collection of enticing, elegant, and provocative images of the sometimes decadent affairs of those times. And if you're not familiar with his work, you will know it when you see it. You see... Oh, do I not have the picture up? Hold on. I'm going to go put the picture up. I have a picture. I have a picture that I think this is the one I'm going to do, but I'm not sure yet. Haven't decided quite yet. We can switch gears when we get there. So that's a good little piece to look at. All right. He also did beautiful paintings and pastels and drawings, and I mean, the piece on the screen right now is very graphic. So he did like graphic posters and stuff, and you will know them when you see them. You can probably tell just from looking at that. And I also love that he included, that he did lettering too, which I love. I love that. Okay. Let's see. Born into the aristocracy, Toulouse-Lautrec broke both his legs during adolescence, leaving him with a stunted appearance. In later life, he developed an affinity for brothels and prostitutes that directed the subject matter for many of his works, which record details of the late 19th century bohemian lifestyle in Paris. He is among the painters described as being post-impressionists, with Paul Cézanne, Vincent van Gogh, Paul Gauguin, and Georges Seurat, also commonly considered as belonging in this loose group. This connects with the show that I saw at the MFA earlier this year, where Van Gogh wanted to start like his own salon, like painting salon, and I think he did for a little while, but it didn't last very long. But it was when he was friends with Cézanne and Gauguin. So they were all in Paris at this time. So here we are. We have Toulouse-Lautrec in with the pack here. How fun. In 2005 auction at Christie's Auction House, La Blanchisseuse, Toulouse-Lautrec's early painting of a young laundress, sold for $22.4 million, setting a new record for the artist for a price at auction. Wow. Okay. That's amazing. Early life. Henri Marie Raymond de Toulouse-Lautrec, Montfort, was born at, I'm gonna tilt my iPad here. There we go. Was born at the Château de Bosc, Camjac, Aveyron in the south of France. The firstborn child of Count Alphonse de Toulouse-Lautrec Montfort. His dad was 1838 to 1913. And Adèle Zoe Tapie de Célébran, and she was born in 1841 and died in 1930. So she was 3 years younger than his dad. He was a member of the He was a member of the aristocratic family, descended from both the Counts of Toulouse and Odette de Foix, Vicomte de Lautrec, as well as the Viscounts of Montfort. Okay. I'm tripping over my words here. I'm going to try and speed through this part, because we want to get to his life, right? His younger brother was born in 1867, but died the following year. That's sad. Both sons enjoyed the titres de courtoisie of Count. If Toulouse-Lautrec had outlived his father, he would have inherited the family title of Comte de Toulouse-Lautrec. After the death of his brother, Toulouse-Lautrec's parents separated, and a nanny cared for him. Oh, that is tough. That is tough. A lot of kids and a lot of people died back then. Like, a lot. I've learned. Maybe I didn't know before now, but I know from Inktober and beyond that siblings died a lot. It seems. I mean, everybody did, but siblings died young a lot back then of various illnesses. And it doesn't make it any less sad, for sure, and traumatic for them, for everybody. At the age of 8, Toulouse-Lautrec lived with his mother in Paris, where he drew sketches and caricatures in his exercise workbooks. Hey, I did that too! A friend of his father, René Princeteau, sometimes visited to give informal lessons. Some of Toulouse-Lautrec's early paintings are of horses, a specialty of Princeteau's, and a subject Toulouse-Lautrec later revisited in his circus paintings. In 1875, Toulouse-Lautrec returned to Albi because his mother had concerns about his health. He took thermal baths at Amélie de Bain, and his mother, I think that was like a bathhouse, and his mother consulted doctors in the hope of finding a way to improve her son's growth and development. Oh, let's look at this place. It was a commune in the Pyrenees in southern France. Let's go. The town has numerous sulfur springs. They have been used as baths by those with rheumatism and illnesses of the lungs. Okay. So it was a place that he went for his health, clearly. And what are we doing? Thermal baths at Amélie de Bain, his mother. And I also want to see how old he was here. So that was in 1875. Toulouse-Lautrec was born in 1864, so he was 11 years old when his mother did that. When he went to that spa semi-health place, right? Okay. Where are we going with this? Disability. Okay. In hope of finding ways to improve her son's growth and development, because he was really little and he had broken his legs and he was, I would say, unusually small. And maybe she was just like, oh, he's 11. But I mean, at 11, he could have just not hit his growth spurt yet. But I'm sure there was plenty of other signs at the time that he was not developing in a way that, you know, was the way that most people do. Disability and health problems. Toulouse-Lautrec's parents were first cousins. Their mothers were sisters. And his congenital health conditions have often been attributed to a family history of inbreeding. Hey, they didn't tell us that before, that they were first cousins. That is very close. At the age of 13, I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. In terms of relativity. At the age of 13, Toulouse-Lautrec fractured his right femur, and at age 14, he fractured his left femur. The breaks did not heal properly. Modern physicians attribute this to an unknown genetic disorder, possibly, let's say this, pycnodysstosis. Pycnodysstosis, sometimes known as Toulouse-Lautrec syndrome, or a variant disorder along the lines of osteoporosis, achondroplasia, achondroplasia, or osteogenesis imperfecta. I'm not going to click into any of those. I am going to click into pycnodysstosis because I want to see pycnodysstosis. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm scanning. Is a lysosomal storage disease of the bone caused by a mutation in the gene that codes the enzyme cathepsin K. It is also known as PKND and PYCD. Okay. Brittle bones which easily break, especially in the legs and feet. Okay, that sounds tracks pretty good there with Toulouse. One of those disorders which has a typical facial gestalt. Okay, so there's a look to it. So if we see the look on her, okay? Let's look at her face, and then we're going to look at Toulouse-Lautrec face. So maybe long, and then the eyes, sort of. A little similar, right? I can see it. Okay. Let's go back here. Okay. More information. Disability and health problems. Toulouse-Lautrec's... Sorry, I'm just checking the chat here. Just checking the chat. Okay. Disability and health problems. Toulouse-Lautrec's parents were first cousins. We already did this part. At the age of 13, he fractured his right femur. The breaks... Okay, we already did... I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, we already did that part. We're going. Toulouse-Lautrec's legs ceased to grow when he reached 5 feet. He developed an adult torso while retaining his child-sized legs. Okay. Paris. During a stay in Nice, France, his progress in painting and drawing impressed Prince Teau, who persuaded Toulouse-Lautrec's parents to allow him to return to Paris and study under the portrait painter Léon Bonnat. He returned to Paris in 1882. Toulouse-Lautrec's mother had high ambitions, and with the aim of her son becoming a fashionable and respected painter, used their family's influence to gain him entry into Bonnat's studio. That's it. Pull those strings for Toulouse-Lautrec. He was drawn to Montmartre, the area of Paris known for its bohemian lifestyle and the haunt of artists, writers, and philosophers. What would it have been like to be there? Pretty wild. Pretty fun. Studying with Bonnat placed Toulouse-Lautrec in the heart of Montmartre, an area he rarely left over the next 20 years. Cheers. I got coffee from my local coffee place today. So this is what we got. Ethiopia. After Bonnat took a new job, Toulouse-Lautrec moved to the studio of Fernand Cormon in 1882 and studied for a further 5 years and established the group of friends he kept for the rest of his life. At this time, he met Emile Bernard and Vincent van Gogh. Cormon, whose instruction was more relaxed than Bonnat's, allowed his pupils to roam Paris looking for subjects to paint. During this period, Toulouse-Lautrec had his first encounter with a prostitute, reputedly sponsored by his friends, so they paid for him, which led him to paint his first paintings of a prostitute in Montmartre, a woman rumored to be Marie Charlotte. Early career. In 1885, Toulouse-Lautrec began to exhibit his work at the Cabaret of Aristide Bruant's Mirliton. With his studies finished, Toulouse-Lautrec participated in an exposition in 1887 in Toulouse using the pseudonym Treclau, the Verclan of the family name Lautrec. He later exhibited in Paris with Van Gogh and Louis Anquetin. Okay, in 1885, hold on. I just need to back up a little because I want to see. He's 1864 was when he was born. So he is 21 years old. With his studies finished, Toulouse-Lautrec participated in an exposition in 1887 in Toulouse. Oh, we already did this part. Sorry. In 1885, 21 years old, Toulouse-Lautrec met Suzanne Valadon. He made several portraits of her and supported her ambition as an artist. It is believed that they were lovers and that she wanted to marry him. Their relationship ended and Valadon attempted suicide in 1888. Oh, that's rough. I wonder who she was. Let's look into her. That's a beautiful painting. Suzanne Valadon. So she was about his age. She was born in 1865. She lived till she was 72, though. So she was a French painter who was born Marie. Okay, we don't need to. That's not a big deal for us. We just want to. She spent 40 years, nearly 40 years of her life as an artist. Let us go to. Do we have a little Toulouse-Lautrec section here anywhere? Personal life. You know, should be a good one to do. I'm going to put a pin in that. I didn't see anything in her Wikipedia about Toulouse-Lautrec. Rise to recognition. Anyway, she lived till her 70s, so her attempted suicide was unsuccessful. Yay. Rise to recognition in 1888, so he's about... I forget what was he born in, 64 or 65, so he's in 2025-ish. The Belgian critic Octave Maus invited Lautrec to present 11 pieces at the Vit the 20s exhibition in Brussels in February. Theo van Gogh, the brother of Vincent, bought Poudre de Riz rice powder for 150 francs from the Goupil and C Gallery. From 1889 to 1894, Toulouse-Lautrec took part in the Salon des Indépendants regularly. He made several landscapes in Montmartre. The society did exhibitions, art exhibitions, so he was, I guess he was agented type of thing. He made several landscapes of Montmartre. Tucked deep into Montmartre, in Monsieur Perret-Forêt's garden, Toulouse-Lautrec executed a series of pleasant, plein air paintings of Carmen Godin, the same red-headed model who appears in The Laundress. In 1890, during the banquet of the exhibition in Brussels, he challenged to a duel the artist Henri de Groux, who criticized Van Gogh's work. Paul Signac also declared he would continue to fight for Van Gogh's honor if Lautrec was killed. Oh my gosh. Degrue apologized for the slight and left the group, and the duel never took place. Well, that's a little aside, huh? What's up with that? I gotta read that again. In 1890, during the banquet of XX exhibition in Brussels, he challenged to a duel the artist Henri Degrue, who criticized Van Gogh's works. So he challenged Henri to a duel because he criticized Van Gogh's art. Paul Signac also declared he would continue to fight for... Okay. Oh man, if you die in the duel, I will take your place. I, Paul Signac, will take your place to fight for Van Gogh's honor. Okay. This sounds like the Paul, was it Jake or something, the boxing? I don't know. Degrue apologized for the slight and left the group, and the duel never took place. Okay. Fun. Toulouse-Lautrec contributed several illustrations to the magazine Le Rire during the mid-1890s. The Rire was a successful French humor magazine. Okay, cool. Nice work. Interactions with women. In addition to his growing alcoholism, Toulouse-Lautrec also visited prostitutes. He was fascinated by their lifestyle, as well as that of the urban underclass, and he incorporated those characters into his paintings. Fellow painter Edouard Vuillard later said that while Toulouse-Lautrec did engage in sex with prostitutes, the real reasons for his behavior were moral ones. Lautrec was too proud to submit to his lot as a physical freak, an aristocrat cut off from any kind by his grotesque appearance. Oh. That's a little sad, right? He found an affinity between his condition and the moral penurity of the prostitute. Okay. All right. I mean, I love that he's found his people, right? He felt comfortable. That's great. The prostitutes inspired Toulouse-Lautrec. He would frequently visit a brothel located in Rue d'Amboise, where he had a favorite called Morel. He created about 100 drawings and 50 paintings inspired by the lives of these women. In 1892 and 1893, he created a series of 2 women in bed together called Lolette. And in 1894, he painted Salon de la Rue des Moulins from memory in his studio. I'm going to look at that real quick. Let's take a look. Can we see it? No, we do not have an article. Okay, we don't have to look at that. Let's look at Lolette. Oh, that's sweet. I love that painting. I love that painting. It's so sweet. It's very sweet. That's a very sweet painting. I looked at it earlier and in my morning, 5 seconds before I came on. Super cute. Toulouse-Lautrec declared, "A model is always a stuffed doll, but these women are alive. I wouldn't venture to pay them the 100 sous to sit for me, and God knows whether they would be worth it. They stretch out on sofas like animals, make no demand, and they are not in the least bit conceited." He was well appreciated by the women, saying, "I have found girls of my own size. Nowhere else do I feel so much at home." I love that. Oh my God. That's so touching. I'm so happy he found his little home in the brothel ladies. The Moulin Rouge. When the Moulin Rouge Cabaret opened in 1889, Toulouse-Lautrec was commissioned to produce a series of posters. That's amazing. His mother had left Paris, and though he had a regular income from his family, he was a trust fund baby. Making posters offered him a living on his own. Other artists looked down on the work, but he ignored them. I think that was the right decision, Toulouse-Lautrec. Ignore them and do what you want to do. The cabaret reserved a seat for him and displayed his paintings. I love that he took the work. I love that he took the work. The cabaret, and some of those posters are fantastic. I love them. And I know they're not like perfect and the lettering's not perfect, but it's so charming. That's part of the beauty of them is that. But he has an amazing eye for like graphic contrast and space. So we'll look at them later. We can talk about it. Among the works that he painted for the Moulin Rouge and other Parisian nightclubs are depictions of the singer Yvette Gilbert, the dancer Louise Weber, better known as La Goulou, the glutton, who created the French can-can, and the much subtler dancer Jane Avril. Other cafe concerts also commissioned posters from Toulouse-Lautrec, such as the Café des Ambassadeurs, for which he made the now iconic poster of his friend Aristide Bruant when he moved there in 1892. London. Toulouse-Lautrec's family were Anglophiles, and though he was not as fluent as he pretended to be, he spoke English well enough. He traveled to London, where he was commissioned by the J&E Bella Company to make a poster advertising their paper confetti. Plaster confetti was banned after the 1892 Mardi Gras. Well, that would be interesting to look into. Was there a fire or something? I'm not going to find out there, but let's look here. Toulouse-Lautrec, great lithographs. Hold on. One more. Confetti. I'll look at that real quick. Made a poster. Okay, let's go back. Okay. And the bicycle advert, La Chain Simpson. Oh, nice poster. Okay. While in London, Toulouse-Lautrec met and befriended Oscar Wilde. He gets around. He's everywhere. Oscar Wilde. When Wilde faced imprisonment in Britain, Toulouse-Lautrec became a very vocal supporter of him, and his portrait of Oscar Wilde was painted the same year as Wilde's trial. I forget why he was on trial, and I just learned it like 2 weeks ago, but I forget. Sorry, I can't give you that information right now. Alcoholism. Toulouse-Lautrec was mocked for his short stature and physical appearance, which some biographers have conjectured may have contributed to his abuse of alcohol. Toulouse-Lautrec initially drank only beer and wine, but his tastes expanded into spirits, namely absinthe. The earthquake cocktail is attributed to Toulouse-Lautrec, a potent mixture containing half absinthe and half cognac in a wine goblet. Because of his underdeveloped legs, he walked with the aid of a cane, which he hollowed out and kept filled with liquor in order to ensure that he was never without alcohol. Okay. All right. I do think that is alcoholic behavior. Cooking skills. Like Claude Monet, Lautrec was known for his cooking. Culinary historian Alexander Leaf highlights Monet and Lautrec as the two most serious gourmets among their peers. Lautrec's love for cooking stemmed from his family upbringing and early childhood, where he first learned the importance of culinary values. Before he became widely known as a painter, he was called Henri the Cook by his cousins. How sweet. Lautrec's penchant for art and cooking eventually led him to combine the visual and culinary arts, usually as a formal celebration of the release of new artworks, resulting in legendary parties for which he designed the menu, which were often artworks in themselves, bought and prepared the food, and created and often invented entirely new cocktails. Lautrec's most famous party, held at the Nantansons' Paris house in February 1895, is often regarded as one of the most notorious parties in art history. 300, how come I haven't heard of this? 300 guests were invited, with a claimed 2,000 cocktails served, all accompanied by side dishes of gourmet food, with Lautrec working diligently as the sole chef and bartender, dressed in a white linen jacket, complete with a freshly shaved bald head and no beard. Ironically, by the end of the night, Lautrec appeared to be the only one still awake and sober. Oh my gosh, he was having so much fun serving everybody. Wow. I'm sure he had a nip here and there. He had to have. but he was staying on his game. He was staying on the game to get the job done. Lautrec was part of a group of gourmands, initially formed by Gustave Geoffroy, 1855 to 1926, so a little older than him, I think, right? 1855, or maybe it's a little younger than him. No. Hold on. How old did we say he was? When was he born? We have to go back in time. Okay, 1855, 1864. Okay, yeah. He's a little bit older than him. He's 9 years older than him. Let us go to cooking skills. Lautrec was part of a group of gourmands, initially formed by... Who knew this? I didn't know this. Lautrec was part of a group of gourmands initially formed by Gustave Geoffroy, 1855 to 1926. He was 9 years older than our friend Toulouse-Lautrec. Gustave, the historian of the Impressionists, and Claude Monet, who met up every Friday night for dinner at Drouant, a restaurant in the Palais Garnier neighborhood. After Lautrec's death, his close friend Maurice Joyant published Lautrec's collection of recipes, some original, some adapted, in the book La Cuisine de Monsieur Momeau, Célibataire, 1930. That was the date the book was published. Along with a color book frontispiece of Toulouse-Lautrec cooking by Voulard. Let's look at that. Can we? Oh no, it's not. They're not going to show us that. Yeah, let's look here. Maybe there's a... Okay, let's look. Nope, nothing there. Let's look here. Come on. Anything? Internet Archive. Okay, we'll have to go back there. I want to look at this book cover. I want to see this book cover. Can I see the book cover? Please show me the book cover. No. No such luck. Okay. All right. That's all right. It was revised in 1966 as L'Art de la Cuisine. The cookbook features 150 recipes, many of which were Lautrec's signature dishes, such as the Catalan salad. I gotta get my hands on this. Art historian Charles Stuckey describes it as the first cookbook ever published by an artist, albeit posthumously. An English translation entitled The Art of Cuisine was published in 1966. That is cool. What a neat, like, second legacy, right? Like, oh, he also was an excellent chef. By the way, he was also a great chef, and he made all these recipes, and he wrote a cookbook. That's pretty impressive. Death. By February 1899, Toulouse-Lautrec's alcoholism began to take its toll, and he collapsed from exhaustion. His family had him committed to Folies St. James, a sanatorium in Neuilly-sur-Seine, for 3 months. Okay, he was drying out. While committed, he drew 39 circus portraits. After his release, he returned to the Paris studio and traveled throughout France. Both his physical and mental health began to decline due to alcoholism and syphilis. I think syphilis took a lot of people back in the day. On September 9th, 1901, at the age of 36, Toulouse-Lautrec died from complications due to alcoholism and syphilis at his mother's estate, Chateau Malrome in Saint-André-du-Bois. Hey, I think my French is getting a little bit better, my French pronunciation, throughout this whole page. He is buried in okay, spoke too soon. He is buried in Cimetière de Verlet, Guérande, a few kilometers from the estate. Toulouse-Lautrec's last words reportedly were "Le vieux con," the old fool, his goodbye to his father. Oh. After Toulouse-Lautrec's death, his mother, Comtesse Adèle de la Toulouse-Lautrec-Montfort, and his art dealer, Maurice Joyant, continued promoting his artwork. His mother contributed funds for a museum to be created in Albi, his birthplace, to show his works. The Musée Toulouse-Lautrec owns the most extensive collection of his works. So let's do the countdown. In a career of less than 20 years, Toulouse-Lautrec created 737 paintings on canvas, 275 watercolors, 363 prints and posters, 5,084 drawings, some ceramic and stained glass work, an unknown number of lost works. They're saying 80 plus. And I'm sure this doesn't count. I'm sure this doesn't count just his practice stuff, you know? I mean, this is like his career span, not all the work he did to learn how to draw. Toulouse-Lautrec's and painting this. Toulouse-Lautrec's debt to the Impressionists, particularly the more figurative painters like Manet and Degas, is apparent. That within his works one can draw parallels to the detached barmaid at the bar at the Folies Bergère by Manet. And behind the scenes, let's look at the bar at the Folies Bergère. Yes! Oh, I love this painting. So I think he kind of made it cool, right? He made it cool. They're like, I want to do some paintings of bar life and the ladies of the night, you know? As they were referred to. Toulouse-Lautrec's style was also influenced by the ukiyo genre of Japanese woodblock prints, which became popular in the Parisian art world. Okay, let's look at this. Yes, okay, because these, remember we've been talking about Japanese influence. I mean, been mentioning it here and there. How this style of Japanese art like strongly influenced painters and illustrators. For certain, you know, British illustrators of the turn of the century, and because we've done some of British ones, and then just everywhere. I'm sure American ones too, because we sort of, this part of the world, you know, all were impacted and by each other's, what's going on with each other. Toulouse-Lautrec excelled at depicting people in their working environments with the color and movement of the gaudy nightlife present, but the glamour stripped away. He was a master at painting crowd scenes where each figure was highly individualized. And I will say, and not overly complicated too, like he had a design eye. At the time they were painted, the individual figures in his larger paintings could be identified by silhouette alone, and then he knew how to edit, you know? And the names of many of these characters have been recorded. His treatment of this subject matter, whether as portraits in scenes of Parisian nightlife or as intimate studies, have been described as alternately sympathetic and dispassionate. Toulouse-Lautrec's, and by dispassionate I think they mean just detached. Dispassionate, detached. Does dispassionate mean detached? We can look that up later, if it ever comes up. I think so. I think that's what they mean. Toulouse-Lautrec, so they're saying, oh, it's been described as both, you know? So people see both in it. Toulouse-Lautrec's skilled depiction of people relied on his highly linear approach to emphasizing contours. He often applied paint in long, thin brush strokes, leaving much of the board visible. Many of his works may be best described as drawings in colored paint. Well, flat. He was very much a designer and a painter. On 20 August 2018, Toulouse-Lautrec was featured artist on the BBC television program Fake or Fortune. Researchers attempted to discover whether he had created 2 newly discovered sketchbooks. That's all we need to know. Let's go to... Okay, he has a lot of paintings here. I'm a little more interested in his posters for us, because I'm going to turn this down so we can see better, because I don't have this just on the screen, but we can, I mean, what I mean is the screen is my desk. It's not, you know, the screen is my desk. So that's going to be easier to look at. Let's look. That's some art. I'm going to turn this. Oh, wait, let me tilt this. Is that better? Maybe, hopefully. I hope so. Anyway, we can look at some of his art. I don't know what that is. There's some drawings. Painting. That looks like a pastel. figure drawing. I love this. Somebody made a photo montage of him, which is such a cute picture. Isn't that sweet? I love that. Let's go back here. And I'm going to look at some posters because I'm really interested in doing a poster today. That's sort of what I would like to do. I really like his poster art. And why can I not swipe through? There we go. Okay, let's do that. There's one. That's a good one. Okay, this is his friend that he painted, or that he drew. Love the colors. So his work is so influential throughout the 20th, early 20th century, really. And is this the one that we have on the screen? Yes. And then there's Jane of Rill. And what I think is really interesting is he really, like, first of all, it's so edited and sparse. Like, there's not a lot going on here, but we have her in the midground. This is in the background. And then this hand holding an instrument, right? This is the string instrument. It's like a cello or something in the foreground, but in shadow. And then it's extending to be a frame. So it's so well designed. It's just really well thought out. And look, the music, we have like sheet music here. And then we have a little bit of it's like a barrier, like a short gate or something. But notice the colors, right? So we have a darker line and then shadow looking coloring here for the foreground, but he's trying to do it so you know that it's in the foreground, but it's also not distracting because eye on her, right? She's the bright light here. She's like the focal point. But I love how he used this neutral mid-brown tone for the line throughout, you know? So this is like the background for your eyes, right? So your eyes are not going to jump to anything here because this is all that mid-tone brown and it's just supposed to fade in, and this is telling the story and this is just all the background and this is telling the story. So she is dancing and the music is right here. Oh, here's his face too. See that? The face of the guy. And this stuff was very like designy. Super designy. He's such a designer. And I like this one too because it's so spacious and there's so much going on. Like, I love the text is angled, but it's also sort of like going under the horse. And then the horse, just the perspective is just so wild. And he just got the space of the horse so good, like how the feet are under and the rump is towards us. It's like the closest part, you know? So he just really got the perspective really good. I do wonder, like, how many sketches did he do for this? Because when you look at how seemingly simple it is, you know, because it's just a sparse line. It's just, it's a definitive line and it's a beautiful line, but it's very much a line, right? He has the line. We have a line. We have, it's very, very minimal. So I love that. I love that. And so I thought it might be cool today for our art to do, and this looks very Degas, does it not? Well, maybe because of the subject matter, and this is cool. I thought it would be cool. Oh, let's look at some of these. I thought it would be cool to do, there's another cool line work, to do one of his posters on, oh, what a funny hammy picture. So he must have been a really funny guy. To do on the black paper again with some Neocolors because these make things pop. So that would be really cool to do. So let's pick something out to do. Oh my gosh, what a ham. Oh my god, I just want to do a portrait of him. He's fabulous. Oh my god, I love him. He's so fabulous. Oh, he's such a little joker with his little dunce cap. Oh my god, I love him. And then you're looking at some paintings. And then that's a beautiful one too. F. Lautrec. Or is that a T? So yeah, Toulouse-Lautrec, everybody. Toulouse-Lautrec. So let's see. What do we want to do here? Let's see. What do we want to do? Come on, screen. Come on, screen. Behave yourself. Do we want to do this? Let's do this one. Yeah, I have it on the screen already, and it's pretty compelling. I like the gray. Oh, sorry about the noise there. I gotta put my iPad up. I'm gonna turn the light up. I will turn the light up. And just situating. Gonna pick out my crayons here. We have a yellow. Let me put some light on here. Yellow. Orange. We got orange. We got yellow. We got orange, we got yellow, we need some grays. We can do that. We can do the grays. Okay, we have a silver here. Silver, we have a off-white. Oh, don't go anywhere. Crayons. And I love this one. This is such a great one. This is metallic. Neocolor 2 metallic. I think it's like phthalo green or something. But it really, what it's like is it's like a cool, it's like a shapeshifter, which I love. It sort of changes to your needs. And then this little bitty here, this is like an olive green, but it's really like a neutral. It's almost like a warm-ish, mid-tone grayish, which will work really good for this. And what is this one? Is this black? Okay, we have black. Probably won't need that. Let me check my other, I have more Neocolors just over here. So I'm just gonna take a look and see if I can grab from here. Sorry about my arm. Excuse my reach. Excuse my reach. This is the beauty of not knowing what I'm gonna do, right? There's a gold-ish. So these Neocolor, Neocolors metallics are really like, they're almost like fancy neutrals. Like they're not, metallic. They're not gonna sparkle. They're gonna give you like different shifting. They're gonna give you some depth in different shifty ways, but they're not like, oh yes, lemon yellow. Okay. I've said this a million times. I'm gonna say it again. I don't even think they make this anymore. I looked for it and I didn't see it in my local Blix display. If you can find this, grab it. Lemon yellow. It's your perfect warm off-white. And this is a Neocolor 2. Perfect. Love it. Okay. All right, let's just go in. I kind of, oh, okay, hold on one second. One second. Let me grab. Okay, I'm just looking for. I keep my neutrals. I have a bunch of stuff on my table. I have a bunch of stuff on my table that you can't see because the camera's on me and on here. But I have stuff over here and I'm just trying to find. I'm not seeing it, and that's okay because I think we're good. I think we have enough really to go with here, and this is good. Plus we have the black of the page, so let's just go in. Let's go in. I'm gonna tilt my page a little bit because I want to have a little leverage. Is that gonna work? No. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's do some books. So this way I will tilt, and then the hope, the hope is, and what I like to have happening when I have a tilted page like this is that, and I'm going to adjust you a little bit so you can see better, is that I am able to not, my art doesn't get like, what's the word I'm looking for? What is the word I'm looking for? Warped. I'm looking to not have my art being, I can't find my words, I'm so sorry. Sometimes when I do flat, I notice my perspective is off. That's what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say. There's my, see my table? It's a mess. Okay. All right, hold on one second. I need to do a little bit of business here real quick. Just gotta do a little business here. Get things going. Get things so I can see everything. Because I think this paper is a little bigger than I usually use. So perhaps we're not going to tilt it that much. How about like that? I think that'll work. And I do want to get the shine off my iPad. So I'm going to do that. That's good. Okay. So here's my view. If you come down here with me and then you look. See? I can see. There's my picture. And now I'm going to do this. And we're going to go in. Let's do this. Okay. Okay, I think my biggest challenge here is that a bunch of this artwork is black. And a bunch of the artwork is black, and I'm looking to do like a negative space thing here. So keeping the page black for my art, for my lady, I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say? Keeping the page black for the parts in the art that are black is going to probably be, well, it already is showing me, it's a little challenging. That's okay. We're going to work through it. We're going to work through it. I'm working through it right now. I'm doing like a light sketch. I suppose I could do it with the darker, but I'm going to just use this off-white right now. This is the lemon yellow because I can see it the best. And I can see it better than a darker, like a gray or something. And it's helpful for you too, because you can see it better. And then And then if I want, and I don't even know that I'm going to do this, but I could like try and wash it away a little bit, because you can do that with Neocolor too. I like how these jackets were like the shape of the collar is so curvy. I like how Toulouse-Lautrec picked out specific little details that really like tell the whole tale. Like if you look at his glove, it has the 3 little indents on it, like where your bones are, and those little details are interesting, because that is what a glove like that looks like. But I just think it's interesting to see like what did he choose to do, you know, like what did he choose, because he's so careful with what lines he chooses to use in his pieces, you know. So I'm doing this whole, I'm doing the technique where like I'm connecting things. So that's gonna help me to figure out where to place different parts of the artwork. So right where his top hat, like the front of his top hat, that's where her hat connects to it. And it's pretty cool how he designed that, because they're both flat black, so it's very graphic, and it sort of forms one shape together in the piece. Her bone is jutting out from her back. And then he has this cane, I think. It's a cane. Definitely might need a little water to clean things up here. It's hard to get like a the edge I need on this, but I could cut it, but I don't know that I want to do that right now. Just trying to work with it as is. I don't know what that yellow thing is. I'm gonna draw it, but I don't know what it is. It looks a little bit like it could be, I mean, it's not this, but it looks like a little fish or something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a little bag of some sort. It's hard to see, it's hard to tell. I like how all the little background stuff is really telling the story of where she is. She's at a music hall. There's string instruments right here in front of her, and she is holding her fan, and it's kind of neat. And then there's like looks like conductor right here. I'm drawing the conductor's arm. Is it two people or is it one? It could be one, but it's really hard to tell because conductors, you know, they do the whole conductor thing, so a little hard to tell. But let's just color in. Let's just block in her face because she's very pale. So this is kind of perfect for her. And then we'll do this hand here, holding her fan. And then this guy, let's do his collar. You know, her skin is actually kind of the same colors as his collar and ruffles, so that is good because that works. Let's do, he has a beard. And his hair is a little bit lighter than his beard is. Just a little bit. So he's like using, I think he's using like a gentle gradient. Yeah, he's using like a gentle gradient in color here. Like a blink and you'll miss it type of a thing. And then her chair is here. Look what I found. I found my neutrals. How lucky. This is what I needed. This is exactly what I wanted and needed. This is perfect. So we have our headless lady over here, and the actual page. See, this gray just gives me exactly what I want right now. So the page actually ends here, or like her head is actually, it should be a little higher. I should do this a little higher. And then this is kind of where the page, the design starts like that. We're just going to block this out because I need to have an end point here. So it really ends with her head. So I just, should we give her like partial head? Let's give her partial head because I don't want her to be headless, but I'm also not moving her. So let's just do that. That's good enough. That's like an allusion to a head, but it also is not gonna disrupt everything else. So that's good. Now let's balance this guy out because we like this color for him. I like this. Yeah, is this it? Yeah, I like this color for his jacket too. Even though in the original it's a little bit of a different gray, this is going to work for both, so I'm going to use it for both. And this also ends like here. So let's do like that. Block it out. Okay. And then shoulder. Let's see, what are we doing? We're going to use a little, oh, we'll lose that. Okay. Let's use like a combo deal for his glove. And his pants. We have a leg here. I think these are both the same color, are they? Raw umber? Yeah, they're both raw umber. Okay, good. We figured that out. I'm just going to do a combo of colors for his pants. Introduce in a little bit of this. This is like This is that metallic. This is metallic. I think it's phthalo blue or phthalo green. And it's really not. It's not super metallic or anything. It's kind of just like another, it's kind of like a neutral, but with a lot of reflection to it. So it sort of changes, it changes value a little bit when you shift, which is nice. It's pretty dependable in that way, like the values that it shifts to. It just sort of reflects a little bit, which is nice. And it's not distracting or anything. It's just, this is a gray, oh no, that's white. I thought it was gray. I thought that was gray. This is gray. Just gonna say, it's not very gray. And this is gray, but it's like a really cool light gray, but I'm gonna warm that up. I just wanna, I gotta block in here a little bit. Do some blocking in of color a little bit here. I think I'm gonna use, let's see what we got here. What's this? This is ash gray. Let's try this. Oh yeah, that's working good. This is a good color for this. Let's just go over it. This is actually a perfect color for this. Oh, broke. And go in with the burnt umber again here. Where are we? Where are we here? Okay, I just noticed the ash gray is another metallic Neocolor. It's really great. You can see it here. You can see it here without anything like under it, and it's really pretty. Do you see it? It's right here. Hey, Almighty Kebab. How are ya? Hope you're doing good today. Almighty Kebab. Can you hear me? I'm saying hello. Saying hello to you. And thanks for being here. Drawing a Toulouse-Lautrec. Toulouse-Lautrec drawing. Poster. I am redoing. Is that what I'm calling it? I am doing an homage to Toulouse-Lautrec and seeing how it comes out. Really? We'll see. This is Neocolor 2 on heavyweight mixed media black paper. And we're just doing it. We're doing it, and we're going to see how it goes. Okay, this lady, I'm doing her legs now, and the bottom. I'm just going to fill in here. One thing that's very strange about these metallic Neocolors is that they crumble like that. Do you see that? They have this propensity to crumble, and they sort of splinter. Do you see what they do? I don't know if you can see that. They do this thing where they sort of crumble and splinter. And I just go in and like keep working with them, and when they crumble, if they crumble in a block that I can work with, I'll use it like this, like that. Sometimes they just break. They may have reformulated them since I bought these, or since I got these. Some of these were gifted to me, but they may have reformulated them. I don't know, but they're strange how they do that. I wonder what this yellow thing is. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It looks a little bit like a little dolphin or something, but I can't tell what it is. Maybe it's, I thought maybe it's a bag with some, like a purse type of a thing. It's really hard to tell what it is. I can't tell what it is. I think I'm going to go into this with pen after this, with brush pen, I'm thinking. Because there's lettering and I need to take care of that aspect. So his skin tone is very light, but it's not as light as hers. And even though she's like practically completely white, I do think there's like a very tiny tinge of peach to her. Just a teeny tiny little tinge. Like barely even, can I even notice it? I think I might, no, there really isn't. I think she's just white, but I'm just gonna fill in her face shape, and then we're gonna go in with him, and we're gonna add some peachy to his tone because he's a little peachy. She's not. She's just white, stark white. He's more peachy for sure. And he's got a little glass in his eye, like a circular thing, I think. So I'm using a black Neocolor to just sort of cover up some of the, first of all, it gives me a nice matte texture, but it's also helping me to cover up some of my sketchy lines, and also to give me some texture for her hat. It's working well to create that texture. So her hair is like this orange color, but it's a very soft orange, and I am just gonna do like a combo deal with my Neocolors because I have two different colors here that I'm using, and I'm just gonna go in. He has a little lip here, so I'm just gonna do his lips. I think he has his little lips are kind of orange, kind of like, oh, that looks kind of funny. Do we have any more orange in here? We do not. Let me grab the the raw sienna. I think I'm going to use the raw sienna for some of the lines in his face, if I can. If I can get it right here. Zoom you in real quick here. Going with the, where's that? There it is. The silver ash gray Neocolor that I like so much. Whoops, sorry. Sorry about that. Oh. Okay, I think we're good. Hold on. Uh-oh. There we go. Back to normal now? I think we are. I think we're back to normal. Okay, good. Getting there. All right, so her outfit is, I like the very, very flat black of her outfit. It's like super flat. gonna do, her hair is just out a little bit here. Like that, okay. And now I'm gonna do her face too. We're gonna finish coloring in that chair. This yellow color going in full force. Okay, now I'm going to do some line with this. There's a place where her butt just like touches the chair that I didn't have right here. Just do it like that. Okay, that's better. And now her thigh is like that. Okay, good. All right, so see, it's just this little black Neocolor is just like popping. It's just popping for us here. It's just making the magic happen, really. It's covering up all of the little sketchy bits that I did. Great, okay. And now I'm noticing that her arm here is just not long enough, I don't think. Wait. It seems a little off, but I think I'm gonna leave it because I feel like I could change it, but I feel like I don't want to do that just yet. Just in case I'm just seeing things, because I might just be seeing things. Because I feel like I might just be seeing things. I think it's because I don't have think it's because we don't have, yeah, I can fix this. So we have, there's like wrist going on that I did not account for here. So let's do that. And then we're gonna go in. Here's where her fingers are. I'm just looking at the shape right now. So this is like, I'll fill in the gaps later. Right now I'm just looking at the shape. And then her thumb is right here. So that's much better, I think. And now we can sort of fix any little bits like that. And then we can also use the silver to sort of cover up that, to correct it. Okay, that works. Great. Okay, let's do this yellow thing that I have no idea what this yellow thing is. No idea. I'm sure it was something that everybody had one or something, and maybe they were at every table or something. I don't know. Is it a bell? Is it a bell? Is it a bag? Is it a bell? Is it a bag? Is it a, like a ding ding ding? Is it I don't know. Is it chips? Is there like some chips in there? In a little bag? I don't know what this is. I do not know what this is, but I'm going to be faithful to it, even though I don't know what it is. And I'm going to try and draw it as faithfully as I can, because I don't know what it is, but no context here. That's why I'm trying to use like clues as in the time frame, like maybe it's something that everybody had when they were out. Maybe it's like a way to get your server to come, or I don't know. I don't know what it is. What is it? Tell me. Tell me, Toulouse-Lautrec, what is it? Let's do her fingers. And okay, hand done. Okay, let us do the other hand now. This hand, which is really just some design shapes. This one's like that, and then this one's bent. And then there we go. That hand's done now too. Okay, let's see here. All right, we're going to finish this area here with the musical, a string instrument. I think it's probably like a cello or something. Not really sure what it is, but it's okay. Doesn't really matter. And then this lady over here, this lady here, she's sort of off. I'm going to give her a lighter yellow actually, because she's sort of lighter. She's sort of lighter over here. Oh, my nose is itching. And this is lighter too. So in the original picture, this arm here is actually up at her face, and I didn't do it like that. So I'm just covering this up as if as if I did it correctly. So I think I'm going to go in with the lettering after I'm done with all of this part. Just defining some of these parts. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh, I left out a hand here. Okay. I think I had this here earlier and I left it out. Or forgot it was there or something, but I'm going to draw it in and then I'm going to color it. I'm going to attempt to color it because at this point there's not a lot of surface area going on here for me to cover in the paper fibers. I really pressed when I was doing the yellow. So we're just gonna cross our fingers and hope for the best here. Try and make it work. And I mean, that's gonna just have to do, right? It's just gonna be what it is. I do like the mix of this burnt umber though. It does really help with this whole composition, I have to say. Okay. All right. Now, let's finish the art part and then we're going to do the lettering. So we have this lady in this beautiful dress, this very statuesque over here, and her head is cut off in the actual poster, but in our version, there's something going on there that, you know, we're just not seeing, but it doesn't mean it's not there. She's there. She's just, her head is in the little bit shadows, and then it's a little bit darker here. And now, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we gonna do paint pen? Are we gonna do paint pen? Trying to make my decision. I don't know if I have enough paper fibers for this, but I'm hesitant to bring paint pen into this situation. But you know, we might kind of be in a pickle. Perhaps some paint. I have this, which, oops, sorry. I have this, which is an Ecoline applicator, and it's filled with golden fluid acrylic mixed with a little bit of water. So let's do a little test, shall we? What if I was to draw with this? Okay, that could work. So why don't I do like a little rough I'm gonna, first of all, I'm gonna just put this back, close the tip again so it doesn't dry out. And then I am going to draw just real loosely, not loosely, real, how can I do this with, what can I use? Wait, let me use, what can I see? I need to see. I'm just gonna draw the word out in something that I can see, and then we're gonna go in with that pen, and I'm gonna try not to get too caught up in things with it. O P A J. So the J is partially hidden by the hats. And then Devon is the next word. A B. Hoping I can see this when it comes time to draw the words, the letters. D. On. All right. D. I. B. All right, well, let's just go in. We're gonna live a little dangerous, I think, here. We're gonna live a little dangerously here. And we're just gonna go in like this. Can you see? Let me move you in a little bit here. There we go. Hopefully that's good. I'm trying to do it so it's like, it's like trying to be true to excuse me, trying to be true to spatially where it is in the piece. A little off for sure. Let us get a little brush. We're gonna go in with a little brush. Little tiny little brush, just to work. Okay, I'm just going to move like that. Okay. That's done. Let's do the bottom now. Let's do the bottom. Ed Fournier, director. I'm actually going to paint it. I'm going to just put a little dollop of paint right there. And I'm going to put the lid back on this because this lettering is smaller. And I think I can just do it with my brush instead of with this tip, if I can shut the tip. There we go. Okay, let's do it. Where are we writing this? Ed. Fournier. F. O. E. Director. I'm going to make the R first. Oh wait. Oops. Spelled it wrong. Spelled it wrong. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that. Little O should be a U. Do that. All right. Let's do a U instead. U, E, T, C, E, R, whoops, director, R, I, D. Okay, all right, good. All right, I think I want to strengthen the top a little bit because some of the white paint up here where it says Japanese is not real strong. So I'm just gonna strengthen that up a little bit. And let's see. I wonder if he did these posters and then I wonder what they paid him for them. What did Toulouse-Lautrec get paid for his posters? Cool. I think we're done. I think we be done. I think we be done. And I like it. I like it. Let's do a beauty shot of the piece. Let's do it. Let's do like this so you can see. Ta-da! Ta-da! Awesome. All right. Yes. All right, we had fun with this one. This is Neocolor 2, and the paint, the lettering is done in this, which is, excuse me, my nose, I'm about to sneeze, I'm trying not to sneeze. This is an Ecoline applicator, needle applicator, and it is filled with golden fluid white, like titanium white, and there's some water mixed in there, so it's extra thin. But I only drew the letters up here, and then I used my brush to just sort of do more. And then down here I just painted the letters in. So, Toulouse-Lautrec, and thank you for joining me today. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll be back tomorrow with another artist at 10 a.m. Eastern Time with another commercial artist of the 19th century. So thanks for coming, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!